Hi guys, Saloni this side and welcome back to our channel Codera. So this is the 8th video of our SQL tutorial series, and in the last video we discussed SQL commands, and in today's video you will get to know about some important data types in SQL. So let's start the video. So in this video we will discuss all these topics. So now without any delay, let's see our first topic, which is what is SQL data type. So guys, SQL data type is the same concept of data type we see in different programming languages. So basically data type are the rule which tell the SQL that which data value a column can store and how that data value will actually stored. And here the data value may be integer, character, date, time and so on. So at the time of table creation, a SQL developer must decide what type of data will be stored in each column of the table, because it will help the SQL to understand that what type of data is expected inside each column. And it is mandatory for each column in a database to have a name and a data type. So we can use data types for several reasons. So first is it restricts the type of data that can be stored in a column. For example, a numeric data type column will only accept numeric value, and data type also allow for more efficient storage internally, like numeric and date time value can be stored in a more condensed format than text and strings. And one more reason is that data type allows for alternate sorting orders. So suppose you have stored 1 to 10 numbers as a string, then it will sort something like this. Because strings are sorted in dictionary sequence, like one character at a time starting from the left. But if you will store these numbers as numeric data type, then they would be stored correctly. So guys, data type plays a very important role in SQL. So now let's see how many types of data type are available. So in SQL, mainly we have these 6 types of data type, which are numeric, date or time, character or string, Unicode characters or string, binary and some miscellaneous data types. But generally we use only few data types. So in this video we will only discuss those important data types which are frequently used. So character or string, numeric and date time are the most used data types. So now we will discuss each of them one by one. So in character or string we have two important data types, which is char and varchar. So both the data type can store numbers, letters and special characters as a string. But you should go for char if you have to store fixed length string, and varchar is the best option if you have to store variable length string. Here the meaning of fixed length string is that you know in advance that what will be the number of character will going to store in that column. For example, you have to store the grades of the students. So the grades will be like A, B, C and so on. That means you know the grades column will store only one character. So in such case char is the best choice, because char takes up 1 byte per character. So if you will give the size of char as 10, but you will only store 3 characters, then in that case the remaining 7 bytes space will get padded with the blank. While in case of varchar, it holds only the character you assign to it. So it will take 1 byte per character plus 2 bytes to hold the length information. For example, if you will set a varchar size to 100 and store a value like Mike, then it would take up 4 bytes for the Mike plus 2 bytes to hold the information. So total it will take 6 bytes. So guys, if your string is of variable length like name, department, phone number, then you should go for varchar for the better performance. And guys, one very important point about these data types is that sometimes you will see that we stores numbers in a varchar data type. For example, phone numbers and zip codes should be stored in a numeric fields. After all, they only store numeric data, but doing so would not be advisable. If you store the zip code 01234 in a numeric field, then the number 1234 would be saved. You would lose a digit, which is 0. So the basic rule to follow is, if the number is a number used in calculations like sum, average and so on, then it belongs in a numeric data type column. and if it is used as a literal string, then it belongs in a string data type column. So now after this, the next data types are text and long text. So both can store strings, but the text data type can store maximum length of 225 characters, while long text can store up to 4 GB. But you should avoid using this large data type unless you have a lot of storage space. So now our next data type is enum. So in enum, we have to give some value inside the parenthesis, and we can only store one value from this given list of possible values. So you can list up to 65,535 values in a enum list. And what if you try to insert a value which is not in the list? Then in that case you will get an error. And this enum data type uses numeric index to represent values in the list, like array. But here the indexing starts from 1. And there is one more interesting thing is that if you will try to sort a column which has enum data type, then it will get sorted based on the numeric index. So here is one example of enum data type. So the column name is rem, which has enum data type, and it has 4 possible values, which is 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB and 64 GB. So this is how you can use enum data type. So now let's see some important numeric data type. So the first is int, and in parentheses you have to mention the size of the int data type. So it is used to store integer values, and the maximum value for the size parameter is 255. And here are its signed and unsigned ranges. Likewise, we have decimal data type, which is used to store fixed point number, and it takes 2 parameters. So the size parameter specifies the total number of digits, and the D parameter specifies the number of digits after the decimal. So the maximum value for size is 65 and its default value is 10, while the maximum value for D parameter is 30 and its default value is 0. So now the next numeric data type is bool, which is like the boolean we used in the different programming languages. So with the help of bool data type, we can specify boolean values as true and false. So in bool data type, 0 is considered as false and non-zero value are considered as true. So this is how bool data type works. And our next numeric data type is float, which is used to store floating point numbers. And in float, we have to pass one parameter. So if its value is between 0 to 24, then the data type will become float. And if its value is between 25 to 53, then the data type will act as a double. So now let's see some data type for the date and time. So the first data type is date. So with the help of this data type, we can store the date in year, month and date format. And its supported range is from 1 January 1000 to 31st December 9999. And to store time, we have time data type, and its format is hour, minute, second. And here you can check out its supported range. And the next data type is date time, which stores the combination of date and time in this format. And here is its supported range. And if you will add default and on update while defining the column, then the value will get initialized and update to current date and time automatically. So now our last data type is year, which is used to store year in 4-digit formats. And its supported range is from 1901 to 2155, and it also supports 0000. And one more thing guys, that MySQL does not support year in 2-digit format, so you have to store it in 4 digits. So guys, all these are some important data types which we will use. Now let's see some interview question based on data type. So the first question is, what is the difference between char and varchar data type in SQL? And the next question is, what are the data types in SQL? So guys, these are the 2 questions which an interviewer can ask you. And I hope after watching this video, you will be able to answer those questions. And from data type, interviewer don't ask many questions, so don't worry. So guys, that's all about this video. I hope you will like this video. And don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you so much for watching.